Hey everybody, John McClellan here, ATX Hot Sauce, atxhotsauce.com. Subscribe below if you want to check out some of our other videos. We are making Texas Reaper today. One of my favorite hot sauces. In fact, it just won an award at the Fiery Foods competition in Dallas a couple weeks ago. Got #2 in the extra hot category. So check it out, the Texas Reaper. And I'm going to show you how to make it today with these gorgeous Texas Reapers. Well, the Carolina Reapers, we're going to turn them into Texas Reapers. All right, how do we make a Texas Reaper here at atxhotsauce.com? Well, it starts with an onion, some ginger, a little bit of beet, some dried peppers, Carolina Reapers, a little peppercorn, plums for a added sweetness, and then I've got a ton of these Carolina Reaper that we're going to ferment in our fermenting 1 gallon jar right here. These Carolina Reapers are great. They're very hot. I would recommend that you wear gloves when you're chopping them up or you could have a problem later on. Don't touch the eyes, don't touch other parts if you know what I'm saying. A couple things you need to be wary of when you're cutting up Carolina Reapers. Number one, always take the stem off. If you notice when I cut into one, there's lots of little pockets in there, right? Air can get in those pockets when you're doing a fermentation, so you want to make sure you chop these up pretty good. About like that's probably just fine. Go on to the next one. Another thing about Carolina Reaper peppers is they're very fragile. They tend to go bad fairly quickly. One of the things I've noticed over the years is that when you open some of them up, they have a little blackness inside. You want to watch for that. A lot of times it's just the seeds turning black, which is not a big deal. See, those are a little bit black. But a lot of times it's mold. So you want to look at and make sure it's not mold. Mold's hairy. And you don't want hairy in your hot sauce, right? Nobody wants a hair in their hot sauce. The fragrance coming off these is absolutely fantastic. It's got this sweet tropical smell to it. It's one of the reasons I love these Carolina Reapers so much. Should chop them up really well. Put the tail on it right there. All right, there we got those chopped up. Make sure you throw your stems away. Now, next thing is your dried peppers. One of the things that you need to do when you're using dried peppers is take the stem off, but also get all the seeds out of it. The seeds can make the sauce have a lot extra tannins in it. It can make it a little bit bitter, and you don't want bitter. I find the best way to do is with scissors. Chop it open, put it in here, put it right down the side, open it up, and get those seeds out. See that? Same thing with this pepper. Open it up. Look at all those seeds. Oof. Don't want those in your hot sauce. All right, and we're going to chop those up and get rid of all these other seeds here. One of the things I like to do when I'm doing a fermentation is I like to put all the dried stuff on the bottom. Here we've got these chilies, dried chilies here. I like to weigh them out so you'll know exactly how much to put in yours. I do everything by grams. It's just easier to convert for me. So we've got 27 grams onto the chilies, 145 grams. See ya? About 6 grams of black peppercorns. Put those in the bottom. Red plum we're going to put in there. That was previously frozen. That's quite all right. We have trouble getting plums around here sometimes. So when I'm able to get them, we get them and we cut them up and we freeze them. Then you just thaw them out before you do the fermentation. Just remember, if you're using any frozen products in your fermentation, like frozen peppers or other things, you have to put fresh stuff in there with it also. All right, next thing is going to be the beet. Why do we use beets? Well, I use beets for the color and a little bit of the sweetness that's with them. It really turns the sauce a really beautiful color. It keeps it all red, and it adds that sweetness to there. If you notice, I haven't peeled this. I just washed it really, really well. There's a lot of lactobacillus and other good stuff on here that I don't want to peel off. So we're going to take this. Look at that. It's gorgeous, okay? Make sure you cut it up in small pieces, maybe 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit bigger. This is a big beet. Since this is such a big beet, we're only going to use probably about 3/4 of it. We've got some ginger here. Slightly peeled. I like to leave a little bit of the skin on the ginger just because I think it adds something to it when you're doing the fermentation. It helps the fermentation really take off. Going to dump both of those in there. Onions are going to go last. We also have some Scotch bonnets here too. The Scotch bonnets are very fruity, sweet, hot pepper. They marry really well with the Carolina Reapers. So first off, we're going to start with the Carolina Reapers. I want to get these packed in here. I've already cut some here. Now with the weight of these, I just use the gallon jar and I just pack it tight. I don't really tend to measure very much when I'm using these peppers by weight on the gallon jar. I just put enough to fill the jar up, which is what we're gonna do. Carolina Reapers can be kind of expensive too. That's why I like to add in these Scotch bonnets. They're not quite as expensive and they're a little easier to find too. This is a great time of year to get Scotch bonnets and to get, see, here's a piece of mold right here. I wanted to show you that. That's what mold looks like. We're gonna throw that away. All right, now we're gonna add our onion. I like to do an onion as a layer around the top of it. Remember, you can do anything you want in these fermentations. You could put peaches, you could put strawberries, you could put more onion, red onion, blue onion, pink onions, more peppers, less peppers, put red bell peppers in there, anything. That's what I love about fermentations. Everyone is a little bit of experiment that you can do, but this is the recipe we actually use for our hot sauce, the one that won, Texas Reaper. All right, once you get all that in there, we've got to create a saltwater brine to put in there. We're doing wet fermentation. Now, wet fermentation, I like to use 3.5% salt to water, 3.5% brine. And how do I do that? Well, it's really simple. You have a little trusty thing here that measures out liters like this does. I have exactly 4 liters of water in this. 1 liter of water is 1,000 grams. So if I have 4 liters, that's 4,000 grams. So what's 3.5% of 4,000? Tick tock, it's 140 grams, right? So I'm gonna need to add 140 grams of salt to this mixture right here. And where's my salt? Now I've already pre-measured this at 140 grams, but the easiest way to do it is to just to weigh it, right? I'm not gonna weigh this, I already have. I tarred out the container it's in, but it's 140 grams. So I added my 140 grams to this, get a spoon. We're gonna stir that up real well until it's completely dissolved. Very important. All right, I'm gonna clean some of this up, and when we come back, I'm gonna show you how to get the thing filled up, what to put down as a press plate on the top of it, and we're gonna let this salt dissolve. All right, I got my station all cleaned up and all the salt is dissolved in the water. Remember, it's 3.5% salt to water. So if I have 4 liters, that's 4,000 grams. 4,000, how many grams of salt? That's 140 grams of salt, right? 35, 70 times 2 is 140. Now I'm gonna pour all this in here. Remember, there's a lot of pockets in these peppers. So I'm gonna fill this up and then I'm gonna let it sit for just a second, maybe jiggle it around a little bit. Let that brine get all over the place, get it to all those peppers. I fill it up to about right there. As you can see, there's a lot of air bubbles in there. So I'm ready to give it a little jiggle. All right, come on now. I'm gonna get all those air bubbles out. The last thing I'm gonna do is open this fermentation back up in a couple of days to have to add some more brine to it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. All right, that should be pretty good. Let's add some more water to it. There we go. Now, here's another little nifty little doodad I have here. This is adjustable, and you can use this to hold your veggies down. As you can see, the lid will sit right there, and if it's even more full, you can adjust this however you want, and it keeps all those vegetables submerged down there. Take a look, trusty lid here. All right, and we have an airlock right here. We'll put that in there. Some people put brine in here. I like to put vodka. I don't know why, because I don't want to waste my tequila maybe, so I put vodka in here. What it does is creates a barrier. It allows air to come out, but no air to come back in. And as the fermentation process goes, it creates CO2, and the CO2 rises, pushes all the oxygen out, makes for a really good environment, and it bubbles out here. But we've got to put a little tequila in here, which I will do it here in a few minutes. Anyway, that's how you make a Texas Reaper. So we're going to let this ferment for at least 30 days. And then in video 2, which will be coming out very shortly, probably about 30 or 40 days after this one, I'll show you how to actually make the sauce itself and how to pasteurize and how to bottle everything up. Guys, thanks a lot. If you like our videos, be sure and subscribe below. Got a lot of cool videos and recipes below down there. Hit subscribe. Check out our website, atxhotsauce.com, and check out all of our other award-winning hot sauces. We'll see you next time.